Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Host Eddie Frederick.
So glad you can join us. Trinidad and Tobago's Brian Lara weeps for the state of crime in his country. This story takes the lead in today's edition of Caribbean Perspective for Tuesday, 9th May 2023. Details when we return.
Hubbard's Motor Department Mount Gay and Hubbard's Tire Bay, located at the Building Supplies Compound in Grand Anse, are reminding the motoring public that another round for licensing and inspection has begun. Just arrived on new shipments of quality furrowed and torque tires to fit all makes and models of vehicles at competitive pricing. Shop early to avoid the hassle of long lines. WhatsApp them on 473-405-5482. Hubbard's, quality service, affordable prices.
Welcome back. Cricket legend Brian Lara issued a statement on Sunday saying how hurt and shocked he is by the level of crime and the youth's involvement in criminal activity in Trinidad and Tobago. In his two-paged statement, Lara outlines some of the likely causes and suggested areas he believes, if focused on, could help steer young people in the right direction. TV6's reporter Cindy Raghubartika Singh tells us more.
Regional cricket mentor, international cricket coach, and living cricket legend Brian Lara is not known for publicly speaking out on matters like crime, but he says he was left in complete shock over video footage of a childhood friend being killed whilst watching basketball at a bar in Santa Cruz last week. Lara, who is currently in India, said, quote, "Today I am laying in my room in Jaipur, India, and yes, searching for answers and solutions for my team Sunrisers Hyderabad in the IPL. But deep down, I am hurting as I see my country slowly turning into a place that's unsafe for all Trinbagonians," end quote. He says it pained him to see his childhood village crumbling now under the burden of crime and relentless violence. Lara notes that while he recognizes these problems exist in other countries, he knows it's driven by complex social, economic, and cultural factors. He acknowledges that financial worries can lead young people to feel pressured into criminal activities to support their families, leading to lives in drug trafficking, gang activity, and other behaviors. And another factor he referenced is the breakdown of family structures, which can lead to a lack of guidance and supervision of young people. The cricket legend warns that the absence of parental figures or positive role models can leave young people vulnerable. And while he doesn't think any parent wants a life of crime for their kids, he says if they don't pay attention to their offspring, someone will happily do so for them. Lara recalls growing up at a time with many sport, culture, and beauty personalities and hoping to one day emulate them and also make the nation proud. Lara says the value of sport should not be ignored as it can provide a positive outlet for young people, helping to keep them away from negative influences. He adds that encouraging and investing in sports programs can help channel the energy and passion of young people into something positive, while also providing opportunities for personal growth and development. Cindy Raghubartika Singh, TV6 News.
We had no choice. It's the response of Gerard Gordon, president of the Prisons Officers Association, in confirming that the association has decided to settle for the government's 4% wage offer. Gordon tells TV6 News that the POA was essentially forced to take the 4%, and so the decision was made to abandon the tribunal process. Vanessa Cutting of TV6 News has more.
Following 2 days of tribunal hearings, prisons officers voted to withdraw their wage negotiation matter before the industrial court after learning of a clause of the Service Act, which says that the tribunal is mandated to make an award for a period of at least 5 years.
The tribunal looked at the fact that there were two periods, not two disputes, but two periods before them, and thus awarded 5 years, that we will be bound to whatever judgment for 5 years of each of the period. We could have ended up most likely looking at 9 years of 0% and having the percentage award in the final year, this year, of 4% or even less than 4%.
The associations know or knew of this beforehand?
No.
He explains that by moving forward with the process, the association would have been settling straight up to 2022, although the matters before the tribunal were from 2014 to 2019.
But when you talk about people who have retired, people who are to retire, and some other considerations, one being the fact that we would have effectively lost another bargaining period, which we have not made any proposals to, and part of the current period, it placed us in a position that this was the best decision to make.
As such, he says, it should not be said that prisons officers accepted 4%.
We didn't have a choice.
But Gordon says the association will soon be moving forward with negotiations for the periods 2020 to 2022 and 2023 to 2025. Vanessa Cutting, TV6 News.
CIBC First Caribbean is relaunching its services to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, not only with a slate of past banking services, but with several new services. Bank officials say greatly enhance the banking experience for customers and clients. During a press briefing with CIBC First Caribbean officials, including Mark St. Hill, Chief Executive Officer, he told SKN Newsline that their new services will push the bank into a leadership position with the offering of quality digital services. Glenn Bart of SKN Newsline reports.
He was confident also that the strength and long history of the bank create full confidence in the company, its products and services.
We are absolutely ahead, but what we have found is that we have woken up a lot of our competitors. So it's really caused us to even accelerate even faster. So we have a team that is constantly looking what new do we need to bring to the product, to bring to the market. It's very, very important to be listening to our clients, and our clients give us that feedback of what else do they need to make banking so convenient. But right now, I can safely say that we are the leaders. Our transformation is working. Our last quarter was our strongest quarter in nearly 17 years. And it shows you that we are building a stronger and better bank. So you have a bank that is very strong, its capital base is strong, its technology is superior, it is safe, and it's backed by one of the largest Canadian banks. And I think it's the bank of choice.
The officials also met with the bank's clients during a 4th May cocktail reception at the St. Kitts Marriott Resort. Glenn Bart reporting for SKN Newsline.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick.
Artificial intelligence, a powerful form of technology giving rise to chatbots and applications that significantly reduce the time and errors in doing certain tasks, has again commanded attention. Nika Lewis of CVM Live reports.
The wildfire news of artificial intelligence expert Geoffrey Hinton resigning from tech giant Google over concerns about the future and potential of his work triggered a frenzy among stakeholders about the dangers of AI this week. Local tech analyst and cybersecurity expert Trevor Forrest notes that AI is a vast tool that has been around from the 1960s, with so much to offer than is now being seen. However, Forrest says a more commercialized look on AI has put the technology in the hands of the average person, demanding management, exploration, and assessment.
We have not seen the extent of its capabilities yet. There are things that I have seen that AI is capable of that it's not on the regular market yet. And with that in mind, it's like, well, how are we going to deal with that?
Admitting no country is fully prepared to deal with the threats of AI, he asserts governments must ensure the advantages of the tech are realized while managing the negatives. So is Jamaica doing enough to ready itself for the fast approaching digital future?
What I have not seen happening is sufficient attention being placed on how AI will undoubtedly affect what would be a digital Jamaica, right?
Forrest warns preparation is key as the fear of AI replacing several jobs lingers.
I think more effort needs to be seriously placed on the impact of artificial intelligence. This has to come from the highest level, and a clear understanding of the impact has to go beyond, okay, how is it going to affect the BPO sector? Okay, how is it going to affect education and learning?
Despite talks about training for the technology revolution, he says much more work is required to harness the positive impact of AI, which he reminds goes beyond chatbots like ChatGPT. Nika Lewis, CVM Live.
A criminologist out of Trinidad, Darius Figuera, says there is a new trend or a new game of crime taking over Trinidad and Tobago, and people need to wake up and pay attention. TV6's Nicole M. Romney has the details.
Figuera says criminals are looking for soft targets. The young, the old, infirmed, it matters not. The criminologist warns that crime is changing and it's taking a turn for the worst.
And therefore, it is necessary for us to understand this new game and how it has displaced so many people in the game who are now resorting to home invasions and any form of crimes against property and the person in order for them to continue their lifestyle. And what is going to happen with these home invaders is that they will go and parang the wrong house. And if we do find them, we will find them dismembered.
Figuera says it's nothing new.
That has been going on since the decade of the 1990s in Trinidad and Tobago. And that, because it was going on in the marginalized urban spaces, it never was headline news. So what is happening now that is headline news has been going on in Trinidad and Tobago in the marginal spaces since the 1990s. And it never was important enough for us to understand this reality.
He further believes that the influx of migrants was no happenstance. Figuera says among those entering our borders were gang members to exert control over that migrant population.
They have a code of silence that is clearly apparent. And what happened, they are here, they were placed in Trinidad and Tobago. They are pursuing the interests of the transnational organized crime group that brought them. And then when the war broke out between the two contending business models, eventually these captains placed in Trinidad passed in the war and were eliminated.
He believes that the mass killings are an intentional act for a particular result.
Intent is one, in specific cases, is to sow terror in a community that you have targeted, in which you intend to take over, to displace who is exercising power over that community and replace them. Two, the latest incarnation now of this strategy is that you are wiping out families involved in the trade that you are targeting to take over the turf that they work on.
He tells us since 2017, Trinidad and Tobago has been seeing rivers of blood because of two contending business models, the Colombians and the Mexicans. Nicole M. Romney, TV6 News.
Hubbard's is once again innovating the way you shop with its new online store, providing 24-hour shopping convenience. You can shop now for appliances, hardware, houseware, building material, and more. Free delivery island-wide. Start shopping now at hubbardshardware.gd. Safe, convenient, reliable.
I am Eddie Frederick. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean. In the meantime, please continue to log on to CaribbeanPerspective.com for more daily news and more.